What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, joined by the gray hat wearing
Gersh Wong.
And today we're back to answer questions because I am the Sound Alchemist, which I forgot to say. And welcome to For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And that is what Chameleon Yoga Studio did. He asks, well, more loose theories. Could the Emperor have originally been the fifth Chaos God? In my theory, he was like a Zeus-like figure. Then the other four decided to overthrow him, so they joined up and sharded him into a presence in the warp and a presence in real space. As the Great Rift has opened it and has grown the connection between the shards. It could explain why Nurgle, a literal god, slammed the door and pretended not to be home. So, could it be possible that the Emperor was always a Chaos God? That's a little hard to come up with a theory around. Well, not even that hard, because the origins of the Emperor are a mystery, kind of.
Yeah, it's just like he was always there.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if GW was like, oh, that whole shaman story was just a story, and he was actually a chaos god that represented like the essence of humanity.
Yeah,
and then he was brought into existence or pushed down into existence by the other chaos gods, stuff like that. But the way that you put it, I don't think the existence of a physical god and
Materium.
Yeah, so the Emperor god and the Materium god, or what?
So
the corpse Emperor and the actual Emperor, or the God Emperor, didn't exist until the present era.
Right.
So that I think it would be hard for you to squeeze that in there. But yeah.
Yeah, the way I see it, it's like he could have been a chaos god, because I mean there was that story where he was like talking to the chaos gods as that little girl and a dog or whatever.
Yeah.
And also he might have been working alongside like Zeech and all of them when chaos flung the Primarchs all across the universe, because that did benefit the other chaos gods with the heresy and everything like that. So it could be that he is working in conjunction with them for some reason or another. Who knows? But, I mean, it's a theory. I'm pretty sure if GW confirmed it, people would be pissed.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, just because something's chaos, I feel like chaos shouldn't mean evil or bad or anything like that.
Right.
It's just the state of the universe. Because with order, you tend to have things always trying to go back to the chaos. You can't have order forever because something will happen to make it go out of whack.
Right.
So maybe the Emperor nowadays, who is manifesting into a god, is just taking back the power he once had as part of the deal with chaos. I don't like. There's so many theories and so many possibilities that nobody knows for sure.
Yeah. But if you wanted to include that into like a homebrew story, I see how you might be able to squeeze it in, but it is a little far-fetched.
Yeah, not the Pokemon.
No. Oh, also, like, I think he is becoming the next, or the fifth Chaos God. Like, that's the whole, like, manifestation of the Emperor in the Warp. And the, what are they called? Legion of the Damned and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they've been calling him the God Emperor and praying and venerating him for far too long for him not to become a god.
Yeah. Next question.
This guy says, it's not a question, but he says, this WAAAGH was way too spicy, and now I have diarrhea. Thanks, dicks. Hey, we're just trying to clean you out, man.
Yep. Just like traditional Mexican food.
Yeah. Tin Man says, what if a Necron tomb awoke in the Warhammer Fantasy universe? Oh, they would just obliterate, man.
If a Necron
tomb, like a Necron tomb world. Like, say the Necrons were put into, like, Warhammer Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like they're too advanced. They have atom, dissolving weapons and stuff like that. So I think they would pretty much rule that universe until maybe you get to the Chaos Gods, because it is the same Chaos Gods. But yeah.
Yeah. If it was just one tomb world, I think the Chaos Gods would have or take them down easily.
Because they'd get overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah. Next question.
So this one is by C.S. Franklin. Would y'all ever consider giving into Age of Sigmar? Perhaps a D-Sig member? Y'all could learn the lore with the audience and bring in new viewers.
Yes. We tried. We've played Age of Sigmar. I have like 4 armies. No joke. I have 4 armies of Age of Sigmar. And I mean, not built, but like they're just in my pile of shame. And
some of it's built because we have played games of Age of Sigmar before.
Yes, I have my corn dudes built. I have a little bit of beastmen, or what are they called? I forget what they're called.
Zang? No.
The box is right there, but it's not showing. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I have beastmen. I have like the traditional, what are they called? The Eternals.
Oh yeah, Stormcast Eternals.
And then I got dwarves. Or what are they called?
Those chiquitines.
There you go. And you have?
I just have Night Haunts. And I guess technically...
I thought you had Ents.
No, I don't. That was the second army I was thinking of collecting, but we never played. And I'm like, well, why even get an army if we're not going to do anything with it?
Yeah, you use them for D&D.
That is true. Yeah, they work as really great D&D minis.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something that maybe down the line, I think I want to get like better at making these types of videos, or making these types of videos better, before we move on to somewhere else.
But yeah, I mean, Age of Sigmar, from what I've seen lore-wise, it's kind of similar-ish to 40K. You have the Chaos Gods, you have like different realms, like Realm of the Dead and a Realm of Nature and stuff like that, and it's interesting. The one thing I do love about Age of Sigmar is the mounts. I feel like they do that way better than 40K does. Because 40K barely even has any mounts. Like they just have like the Fenrisian wolves, the plague bearers that ride those flies. Oh, and they have dragons too. 40K doesn't have dragons.
Oh yeah. This isn't a question, but it's funny. Trent M says, "Why do I feel like you both smoke? Some of the stuff you guys say and come up with, keep doing what you're doing. Videos are great. As to who do I think is in the dungeons? What if a couple of the traitor Primarchs are in there, as well as maybe a loyalist that doesn't necessarily agree with the Emperor? It could be an extreme plot twist."
The dungeons in the Himalayan mountains.
Yeah, that could be a possibility. It could have been like the lion, or maybe it could have been, what's his name? Luther.
Yeah.
Disguised as the lion, disguised as Cypher, disguised as Alfarius. Him breaking out could be like a big thing. And maybe, like, Cypher, during that whole, like, what was it called? Like, the whole plot with, like, Gilliman and all that kind of stuff. Maybe he wanted to... I am saying his name right. Cypher is the... Yeah. Because I don't play Dark Angels. But maybe Cypher was trying to get to the Emperor, not to get to the throne room, but to make everybody think he's going to go to the throne room. In reality, just go down into the dungeons and speak to this traitor Primarch that's down there. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that would be a mind meld. I wonder what he needs the lion sword for.
Maybe that's the key to unlock the gate.
Perhaps.
But what Primarch could be down there? Oh, what if another plot twist? What if the Night Haunt, or what's his name?
Conrad Kurz.
Conrad Kurz never died or was killed by the assassin, and the assassin actually just like, I don't know, captured him somehow, put him to sleep, and then transported him back to Terra. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. Next question.
This one is by... we already did that one.
I have one by Rafir Ramen. Given that one or maybe both of the Alpha Legion Primarchs are alive, what would their top 3 priorities be in the current 41st setting? So they're the double crossers. In my headcanon, Alfarius and Omegon were commanded by the Emperor to side with Horus as a sleeper agent, and then they trick the Emperor, making him believe that they actually were fighting for Horus, but in reality they were good with the Emperor all along. And the whole him being on the Golden Throne is part of a plan that he arranged with the Cabal, so that humanity wouldn't be destroyed. That's where.
That sounds really plausible, because I mean that pretty much was the whole thing of the Cabal. They're like, hey, if humanity wins, they're basically going to suffer for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Whereas if chaos wins, then it's just going to be like a quick one and done type deal.
And then just out of curiosity, and this is a question to you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are beginners in the lore, when I say things like that, am I just saying gibberish? Like, do you know what I'm talking about when I say the cabal, when I say like the plot to
like the whole cipher thing?
Yeah.
Like if you don't know what cipher's doing, it's like, well, what the fuck's he saying?
Because sometimes maybe we should slow down and like explain further our answers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Right. But if you guys are in the know, then it's like, ya tú sabes, bebé.
Yep.
Cangri.
Luis Crespo.
Hugh Thwan. Which chaos god is responsible for the depression emotion in humankind? All right, so let's break it down. Depression is a state that you feel when you're not
in
happy.
the now.
Yeah.
But no, so depression, because anxiety and depression are similar, but like one is stuck in the past, one is thinking too much of the future. I think anxiety is too much of the future.
Because you're thinking, what if?
Yeah, and then
depression, it's like, well,
it's nostalgic, right?
Yeah, like I should have not done that, or could have done this better.
And that sounds like Zinch. Like you keep knocking yourself over something that you didn't do or something that happened in the past that's making you depressed. And yeah, that sounds like you wish you could change it. So the god of change is putting that into your head so that he can show up and be like, well, you can change it if you learn, sorcerer's powers to time travel. When he knows that you can't, he's going to turn into a spawn.
And the thing is, chaos gods don't really give you these emotions. Your emotions are what create and give power to the chaos gods. So we're saying Zeech, it's not like Zeech is making us feel depressed. No. Our depression, our anguish and anxiety and emotions that come from that is what is fueling Zeech. So, of course, Zeech would come to you and be like, hey, time travel.
Yeah, or sorcerer's powers to make you feel better.
Right.
Or to relive the moment that you're missing.
Mm-hmm. Which, in turn, perpetually feeds him.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would say that. Because it's not Nurgle.
Nah.
It's not Gorn.
Nah.
Slanesh's pleasure, and you're not pleasure. Well, it might be.
Maybe.
But then I think it goes back to that thing that you're saying that, like, it's the depression that makes you seek pleasure so you can get rid of the depression. But then the depression doesn't feed Slanesh. The pleasure. So, I guess what we're trying to say is, like, if you are depressed, just jerk off.
And speaking of that, West Themes 117 says, yes, good to watch One Mind Syndicate at 11, right before a late night tug before bed.
A Bella Danger. we are giving you guys golden nuggets of videos and whatnot. We haven't even gotten into the topics that you should search on the hub. Because again, nuggets. The key is just type in nuggets and hit search. Next question comes from Jonah Toribio. Do you guys know what it means to be imperial fisted?
Man, I wish.
Yeah, that sounds like it hurts. I hope nobody ever feels the need to perform imperial fisting.
Maybe that's how the Crimson Fists got that red fist.
Yeah.
They did it too hard and it got messy.
Yep.
Where the brown fists at?
Next question comes from Jamie Garth. Can you actually run out of love to give? And does love give?
Are you okay, man?
Does love you give really come back double?
Who told you that? I wish that was true. That second part. If I give you 100 loves, that means I get back 200 loves.
I
wish, man.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah. First of all, how are you doing today? Like, let me know. Pour it all out.
That quote does kind of make sense, though, because it's one of those situations where, like, I think what it means is, like, you giving positive energy to something in return gives you positive energy because you are performing the positive energy, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
you're tricking yourself and feeling good because you're telling yourself that you're doing something good.
Yeah, but then again, you're not really tricking yourself because you are feeling good. That's like the thing that I've learned, where it's like the concept of tricking your mind to believe something. Like you're not really tricking them
Just because it's already doing.
Yeah, just believe it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's too much sometimes to think about this stuff.
Yeah. I never think about love.
Never. I am love for this hobby, and you guys.
Hey, there you go.
We do this every day, guys.
Matthew Lowry says, "Y'all funny and help me with going through my masters." What?
Damn.
Yeah. It'd be great to see you
Support us on Patreon.
Yeah.
Mister, I'm getting my master's.
Yeah, doctor this or
PhD that.
Professor that.
Yeah.
Yeah, your thesis. Is One Mind Syndicate gay?
Answer the question. You have a master's degree, or you're going to have a master's degree.
Because that's what you guys want to know, apparently.
But yeah. James Murphy says, do all alien races poop?
No.
Tyranids don't.
Mm-mm. They need that mass.
Yeah. Also, orcs don't.
Oh, they don't. Yeah, that's right.
Also, Kroot don't. No, I'm just kidding. Kroot probably do, right?
I would assume so.
Birds poop.
Yeah, it's probably just a little white splat.
Space Marines don't, but they're not aliens, I guess.
They're aliens to other aliens.
That's true. Aren't we all aliens then?
That's true.
So I guess the answer is still no.
There are no illegal aliens and xenos out there.
That's true.
All is one. One is all.
Inclusivity. CGW, just hire us.
We'll solve all the issues. We help people get their PhDs.
Yeah.
And if not, at the very least, we help them jerk off.
Yeah. Which is the same thing.
There you go.
Next question.
Jamie Garth, I just came back to your question just to see it again.
This one, David Tan says, can you put a Tyranid hierarchy? So Tyranid hierarchy.
Norn Queen, right? Because she births everything else.
No, but it's kind of difficult because I think as soon as a creature has synapse, that means he's connected to the hive mind and the hive mind. So you got to think of it kind of like, what would it be? Like Bitcoin. Like each individual node is its own little like authenticator, and if one of them falls in line, it's not up to only one other node to correct it. It's the entire mind to be like, no, you're doing it wrong. So that's how you have like Carnifexes and all that kind of stuff.
So what does that mean for like named things like Old One Eye and the Doom of Malantai?
I think they just have a little bit more freedom to do what they want. Even though it's not really freedom, because they're usually designed to like, instill fear.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I guess if you want to break it down into hive tyrants, just because they're HQs in the codex.
Yeah.
Whatever HQ exists in the codex, that's the top tier.
Mm-hmm. Tom Hatton says, "What's your outro music? I need to know about her freedoms."
Oh, it's a Chicago-based DJ. His name is Municipal Vice. He has a SoundCloud. Check him out and ask him on SoundCloud. I don't know if you can send messages on SoundCloud, but his name is Municipal Vice. Link in the description. Last question.
The big one. What happens to the dead in hive cities? Are they buried, cremated, or maybe their bodies are recycled? I think that's the first question from the big one that's actually pertaining to 40K. Usually it's like, hey, my mom's getting ass from 3 guys. How do I tell her, stop?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's actually a good question, and you kind of answered it with the last part.
Mm-hmm.
Most hive cities need to recycle everything, including bodies.
The dead, yeah. Because there's a lot of carbon. The black market is big. Hey, somebody needs an eye, somebody needs a liver. There's a dead guy right there.
Yep. Sad, but true.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in school so you don't end up in a hive city.
Right.
But yeah, that's it.
That's all we got for you guys. Keep the questions coming. We'll keep the answers rolling. And as always, it's the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we are out.
always used to put my freedom first in any situation.